Awesome. I'll talk about something that we've not talked about today is AI. So I hope you're going to be surprised about that. What are we about? EVE security. Every CISO today that we've talked to, and it's above 30, are constantly challenged with, hi, I'm from marketing and I can't do my job if I can't get AI agents to help me out, do my job better. And what we've heard is there's a lot of anxiety when you connect AI agents to critical systems in the organization. So they say, you know what, if they want to connect it to Grubhub and an agent orders accidentally 50 sandwiches, I don't really care. But if they come and now connect it to Salesforce or NetSuite and create issues with those systems, well, I'm probably going to need to look for a different job. And we can say, is this maybe theoretical? Has this maybe happened already? We're already like just quick kind of the crown jewels that we call them of those systems in the organization. Already today we've seen in the news where an agent decided to delete the database of production. Okay, not that big of a deal, just the system was down for about a day. And then private repos, which are the IP of organizations, were shared through GitHub to the world. So, you know, IP is somewhat of a big deal sometimes for people. And you can argue and say, well, how much of a trend is this? Again, everybody talks about AI, but these are, you know, supporting factors about how much the adoption of AI is moving in organizations. And yes, there is the common sense that people are putting together, but still the forcing function of departments pushing this from a business perspective needs to be solved and governed properly. What are the bad things that can happen? We talked about those two specific areas where databases were deleted or IP was exposed. These are just examples of the challenges or the risks that can happen for companies that are adopting AI now in their organizations. And we talked to a lot of people and say, like, we do calculated risks. We know what we're doing. It's going to be okay. I talked to the AI agent. He promised he's not going to do anything bad. But the reality is that this is really the outcomes that could happen for organizations. So again, where do we, from EVE's perspective, where do we sit to protect these crown jewels? I'm half British, half Israeli. That probably equals an Australian. You know, we need the Royal Guard, okay, to come and really help out with just sitting in between and making sure that, you know, as agents are interacting, they're not going to perform actions that are not intended by the organization, or at least putting some guardrails around them. That's why our mission statement is to allow companies to adopt AI while giving them the right governance and security. How does our solution look like? What is it built around? We want to start by giving definitely with how AI is adopted today. First of all, it's visibility, observability. What is going on? Who's talking to who? What are they saying? Like, I just want to understand what's going on in my organization, because as everyone talked today, I think even before, about now English being the language that's being spoken, it's very hard with the tools they have today to really get the right visibility. We really focus on giving in-depth on that observability layer, and then give you additional frameworks on top of that when it comes to validation framework, policy enforcement, and then making sure that you can validate any exceptions that happen without needing to use humans. And then what type of value does that give the organizations? Then now I know what's going on. I can then make sure that as a CISO, I can enforce a policy across the board. And the most critical thing for the rest of the business is, hey, how are you going to impact my business continuity? And how much is it going to cost from an operational perspective? We have a lot of focus in making sure that that is not impacted. Where are we today? We have multiple design partners that we're working with today. We've already been funded, but you know, we're probably going to go and raise again towards the end of the year. So if anybody's interested, more than happy to have a conversation. Traction again with customers about the value that we have from a contractual perspective. We're showing the revenue grow, and then the validation of the problem. You go to Black Hat, and everybody's talking about what could happen, what are the risks, what is the concern when you deploy AI agents inside organizations. Other two great co-founders that I have, Sharon in Boston, years of experience of going to market and managing customers, and Amit from, if anybody's heard about a unit called 8200 in Israel, it's a very secret unit with talented people. But he's come there, and we have multiple team members as well that are from that. And again, you know, where are we seeing this? Our gut feeling tells us that AI agents might be adopted in the next 2 years across organizations, and we need to make sure that that's done in a secure manner. Thank you, everybody.